What's up, guys? So I am back and I'm feeling good. I feel like I finally made some progress on this car. Yes, the Charger I'm talking about. I've been kind of jumping back and forth between the truck and the Charger, and I finally feel like we're close to actually driving this car. Obviously, you know it runs, but here's the update. Fancy, fancy stuff coming. So hold on to your hats. But actually, I had to take the wheels and tires off and put it up on jack stands because when you start a car with a manual transmission for the first time, you don't know if the clutch is adjusted correctly. You don't want those tires on the ground. Obviously, the car could lunge if it's not adjusted right, or if there's just something wrong. It's especially on these blocks that we made to put the car up on to work on, would not be good if it lunged forward. So it's in hovercraft mode right now, as you can see. But that affords me an opportunity to show you almost the finished product. So I guess it's been a while since we've looked, or that since we've been working in here. So I thought I'd show you what we have here. So it is looking pretty good in my opinion. The brakes have juice in them. I started to put these inner fender, the fender trim on, and as you can see, they need some modification. So I'm gonna just do a little pie cut here and weld that back after I get it shaped, and then I think this guy will be pretty close as well. Thing is that these are not OEM quarter panels. These are AMD quarter panels, and they are new. And I don't know if the stamping just kind of goes out of calibration over time, or if this was an installer issue. That's possible. But these are OER brand fender trim, and obviously AMD sheet metal. So I guess either I'm to blame or the aftermarket's to blame. Either way, got to just work around it. So got that to do. And inside here, I got to do a quick scuff and put some rubberized undercoating in the fenders. That'll do two things. It'll preserve the paint from starting to rust, because eventually little rocks get kicked up in here and start pecking away at the paint, and then more water gets on it and it becomes to rust. So that's going to be a preventative in here. Probably just due down to this line right here. So that's that. And then you can see the exhaust too. You see my exhaust hanger in there. The exhaust came out really nice. It still has some touch up needs to be done, but I can still drive the car. Got some NICs in all the joints, just so it comes apart if it needs to come apart at some point. But I'm really happy with that. Hopefully it doesn't fall off the car. We have our steering column is freshly restored, and in the car, which is super exciting, I had to buy a manual column collar, and this guy too as well. So I bought these two guys on eBay. So it has nothing, basically there's no shifter detents or anything on it. I like that smooth look. A lot of guys forget, they just leave the shifter. This car was an automatic, so I had to replace these obviously. Little turn signal blinker, brand new wiring harness. Got to figure out which steering wheel I'm going to use. The stock one that came with the car is in really rough shape. I might have to use that, but I'm gonna take this Lucara wheel that was on my old Ford and see if that will fit on it in the time being. It's not real great for spirited driving in the off-road sense, so that's kind of why I'm going away from it. It's actually a really nice wheel. It's got the thick handle on it, but it's just not the right wheel for that truck. So I'm gonna change that out. And so in the meantime, I may just end up putting it here if it fits, or buy an adapter to make it fit. Still need some inner weather strip here, and for the life of me I cannot find it on Classic Industries. I don't know, maybe I'm calling it something wrong. Maybe it's not called weather strip, I don't know. But there's a pinch weld that goes around the whole door opening that I would assume should have some rubber on it, and it goes all the way back here, and there's a slot, and a little slot here for it too. So, and then those covers, those little black covers, I believe go on the inside of it, and there's only one screw hole, which is kind of odd. Let's see, I have to wire up my steering column harness, and it's not just a crossover. If this was just a stock configured plug, it wouldn't cross over into the American Auto Wire kit, so I actually have to repin that anyway. And I have the clip, or the cable, what's the word I'm looking for? The connector is what I'm looking for. Connector I have, and I just need to figure out the sequence in which those guys plug in. And a couple of brake light wires, no big deal. The side glass is in the car, except this door. We are waiting for the rear guide liners. Don't have those yet. Let's see here. And got this front fender trim on. The screw holes, I wish I could go back. This is kind of a rookie move, but I never checked the screw holes, and it turns out a couple of them were stripped just from being over tightened over the years. So I actually had to throw away the screws that came in the package for these guys and just upsize them a little bit. In fact, I believe they're at number 8s that came with the kit, but they were just too short and they wouldn't stay put, so I put longer number 8s in them, and they seem to be okay. I guess more news on that later. But you can see the brake lines in there, not too shabby. I still have a little cover to put here, and then I have the covers that go in here, that bolt here and here. I still need to ground the turn signal lamps in here. Got to drop a battery back in it, but I want to do some wire management here to hide all this stuff at least into one loom. And just be aware, if you're going to use these little OEM straps, they are a one-use time deal. They do not come off, and they do not like to be unsnapped either. So they're cheap, so I'm just going to buy another round of those after I get it loomed up in the Tech Flex. This is kind of my go-to. The brakes are bled, sort of. The front brakes have fluid in them. When I was bleeding the brakes last week, I forgot that there's an outside top bleeder too, and so I've only bled the inside, and so that might explain why our pedal's not what it seems like it should be. So I'm going to power bleed these today, which I will show you guys how I do it. If you don't have friends that can help you, power bleeder may just be your best friend, so I'll show you how to do that. And let's see here, I've got the steering reconnected. I had the steering, just the entire drag link down for header fitment. Headers actually came out really good with that Thermotech coating on them. It's real low key. I would have preferred to have like a polished or chrome finish to them, but I ended up saving some cash and just doing it myself with the Thermotech. In fact, the whole entire exhaust is Thermotech just to reduce heat on the whole floor pan. And let's see here, what else? I have one spark plug wire. These are Top Street Performance plug wires. Do not like them. Nothing personal, guys. I just don't think the product's up to my standards, and my standards are high when it comes to cars. Let's see what else. See, this side is nice and tidy. Got my little cover installed there. Everything looks good. I'm a little concerned about these brakes being enough. The only reason is because how thin the rotor is and the size. They're 11-inch. They seemed adequate at first, but once I put them on the car, they seem a little small. So I may have to put a call into Wilwood and see if they make a bigger, more robust braking set. I'm just a little concerned with how big this car is. Any spirited driving may cook these, so we'll see. It's a heavy car. I would be willing to bet this car is every bit of 4,000 pounds. So I mean, it's a B body. It's a heavy car. So that is that. And then let's see where I started on the fender trim here. I lost patience and went after it like that just to get it to conform. Same song and dance over here that didn't fit the returns on the fenders, so gotta figure that out. And lastly, the reverse light wires, for some reason I looped that with 2 outlets. I mean, there's two wires coming out of this. I think where my mind was, I thought that I had to wire two individual lights. So I think what I was trying to do is telling myself just to cut one short and one longer for the one that's further away. So maybe that's what I did. I have to dig back into that. And then the brown wire is for my taillight lamps. Don't have bumpers yet. Those are probably going to be here in the next couple weeks. So yeah, that is where I'm at. But the reverse lights are not in correctly. I gotta fix that. But aside from that, we are very close to driving this car, and I am thrilled about it. I really need to have the ability to drive this car in and out of the garage. As you can see, this entire side is full of truck stuff. Those are actually interior foam or my seat foam for the front seats, and then that's the back seat foam for the rear seat. Obviously, those are my back seat covers. I still need covers for the front seats. They've been on back order forever. And they make 3 different ones for some reason, and I chose the middle one. So I'm gonna go pick those up today so we can get closer to putting a done stamp on this thing. It's nearing 2 years on this thing, and now I haven't done 8-hour days for 2 years on this thing. So in all fairness to me, I think if I had the ability to do 8-hour days on this car, it probably would have taken me 1.5 years at the most. But part availability and, you know, mostly that, and this is a lot of work to do what I've done with this car. It takes a lot, and some days you just don't want to do it. So I'm sure car folks out there can relate to that, just having those days where nothing fits, nothing goes right, and everything leaks. Those are the days that I'm talking about. So still have some wire management to do in the front of the car for the headlights and so on, that sort of thing. But I am happy with the progress. Obviously got to buy some bumpers. That's another thing. I live near Classic Industries, so I figured just go down there and buy the bumpers, the dash pad, the bumpers, the seat covers. Those are probably oversized. So basically I'm just trying to save myself on some shipping. But overall, things are looking good. So let me show you how to do this brake push thing, or the brake bleeder system.